Hi, this is Madi with D.Miller and Associates. Today I'm joined by former 5-time All-Pro and Super Bowl champion Andre Rison. So glad you're in town. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's good to hear. How has playing football in NFL affected your personal day-to-day life?
I would say a bumpy road, different hurdles. Some days are better than other days. I'm glad I'm dealing with D.Miller and Associates now, so I don't have to do the arguing part as far as explaining my injuries and my mishaps getting up in and out of the bed from day to day. But overall, I feel pretty good.
That's good to hear. With that being said, have you noticed a change in the way the game has been played and taught today versus when you were playing?
Oh, it's definitely a different game. It's different rules now. It's more of we call it the Frisbee game. Most of the teams are throwing the ball across the National Football League. I came in during the era when we still had fullbacks. We still had nose tackles and nose guards and things of that nature. And it was, you played to the last man dropped. I think nowadays, you got so much information given out to mothers and parents of these young athletes now playing pertaining to concussions and injuries. And so you got to catch 22 when you got a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid wondering if you're going to let him play or not. That was different, from us when we grew up. When you were 6 and 7, your mom was kicking you out of the house to go get dirty. And our getting dirty was playing pickup football. And so I think that's changed across the United States. I don't see as many kids playing freelance football in parks. I don't see as many kids playing street football, touch on the street, tackle on the grass. I don't see that. And I think it's geared towards the information that parents are getting and the scares of concussions, the probabilities of those, and as well as just youth violence and people not wanting their kids to be out at certain times during the day, because of youth violence. And so I'm a big advocate of it. I've been high school coaching for 12 years now. We preach it and teach it. But when I do talk to parents of today's game, I encourage them to let their children play. It's a rough sport. It was always meant to be physical. It was always meant to be the man sport. But at the same time, with the concussion protocol now, you got so much help and so much information, valid information, pertaining to concussions in football. And if you play football, you're going to get a concussion. Let's face it. The life after effects that comes with it, I think you see more younger players retiring now early. But yet the money is different too. They're making much more money than we made, and we're happy for that because we open those doors for those kids to make it. And people open the doors before us, prior to us, and so it's paying homage. And I don't want our game, to get the wrong impression as far as being so physical, where you take a kid's dream of maybe one day wanting to be the next Andre Johnson, J.J. Watt, things of that nature. And those are two guys that played on different sides of the ball, offense, defense, but at the same time, they're recognizable across the world, the country, because of football. And so it's a great tool for education. You learn a lot of life skills playing football. So I would advise people to get as much as information as you could, and then it's a heartful decision. And you got a lot of moms that that love their kids. But if it was up to me, all the little boys across America, they would definitely play Pop Warner and Little League football.
Thank you for that. And I know a lot of things have changed during the years. There has been a lot of criticism regarding the NFL concussion lawsuit and whether former players like yourself deserve compensation. How do you respond to that?
We were never paid, first of all, what we really were worth. I mean, when you think about it, from ticket sales to concession stands, but to the naked eye, you got a lot of people say, hey, they were overcompensated. So you got guys running around making millions of dollars, and here we are paying taxes and tax dollars. So it's a catch-22 there. But hey, this is our occupation. This is our livelihood. This is how we feed our families. This is how we take care of our families. We put our lives on the line. We put our bodies on the line. We're not saying we're the toughest guys, but arguably we play the toughest sport, and we want to be compensated for it. When we tear our knees up, you just move on to the next guy. And we tear our shoulders up, you move on to the next guy. That's different than a concussion. When you have a concussion, you know, but you don't know. You know, I've had numerous concussions when I continued to play. Well, now with the rule changings, if you get a concussion, you have the concussion protocol where you have to speak to certain doctors before you can even go back in the game. Not that we didn't have to, but it just was a Goliath game when we played, and so there's a lot of bitterness on both sides of the coin. And you know, for someone to say that retired players don't deserve benefits, they're kind of like off their rocker a little bit. I don't think we complain about anybody's job that comes and watches us play. We don't complain about the people that place bets. We don't complain about the doors we open for a lot of people, kids. A lot of charitable work is done from players. You know, we stick our chest out there and it has NFL on it, the logo on it, but we're the people, we're the person. So I think that gets lost in the mix when we talk about these concussions, because it's a life-going effect. Like I said, it's not a broken elbow, a broken shoulder, a broken foot. This is a brain injury, and we try to shy away from it. I'm 49 years old, and you know, I've come to the realization of when it appears or when it happens, instead of shying away from it and being in denial. And I think the older I've gotten, the more I've been, you know, like, hey, that was a little situation right there. And I'll talk to a couple of my former colleagues, and they'll say, hey, man, the same thing's happening to me. You know, so it's real. We've lost players. Players have taken their lives. Sometimes I feel like taking knives and digging into my head, you know, with the headaches. Sometimes I take the knife in a whole nother realm to get the pain out, you know. But I'm not by myself, so you can't be selfish about it. It's a group effort, not only to alert the NFL what's deserving. You really can't put a number. I don't think $1 billion is enough. And I think the guidelines of it are wrong. I shouldn't have to wait till I get dementia or CTE when I know it's sitting there waiting for me. That's where I beg to differ with what's going on in the court battles. But hey, God always said, you know, He has a bigger plan. So if the $1 billion is approved, you know, that's what we have to take and disperse amongst the players that's eligible for it. You know, we got to take what we got to take, but at the same time, it's not even close to the equivalent of what it should be.
Very serious matter and very life-changing as well. So thank you so much for spending the time with us today. Is there something you would like to add for your NFL colleagues or that find themselves in a similar situation?
Yeah. Hey, if you haven't gotten anybody yet to represent you, D.Miller and Associates down in Houston, Texas. Some great guys, got a great firm. I believe in them, and a host of other guys believe in them as well. And hey, if you're out there and you're indecisive about representation, it's down here in Houston, Texas. D.Miller and Associates.
If you're a former NFL player and have suffered concussions, D.Miller and Associates would be honored to assist you in your claim. Thank you again, Andre, for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.